What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. Yet again, another week has gone by and the amount of news is ridiculous. So much so that I've cut some of it out. It's madness. This club is so unique to anyone else where news is just coming out left, right, and center every single day. So we're going to cover everything, and we're first going to discuss Barcelona's summer transfer plan this summer in terms of transfer targets. Apparently Ilkay Gundogan is a big target for Barcelona. We want to go for a right back. The signing of Inigo Martinez is basically sealed, and of course the return of Lionel Messi is on the table as well. With these signs coming in, players will have to leave. We have updates on Nico Gonzalez, Clement Lenglet, Sergio Des, Franck Kessie, mainly of course Ansu Fati, who will generate the most revenue, of course, in his sale. We have updates from injuries in the first team as well. We have updates on Barcelona, expanding their expenses this summer, trying to increase their revenue to reduce the wage bill. We have contract renewal updates on Sergio, Busquets, Alejandro, Balde, and also on Xavi and Mateu, Alemany as well. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best jersey football replica websites on the market. They have a variety of items at fantastic prices. I have here some with me. Firstly is the home kit for this season. Excellent quality. The badge is nice and smooth. Spotify logo is printed on to perfection. And I also even have a jacket as well. This is one of the training jackets that the players wear. There's a logo there on the right hand side, zipper and everything. They have some badges here, the Nike logo as well. The quality is absolutely, feels real, and also the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your orders. That's BOY. Use that checkout, you get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will get free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Top link down in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past week or so. Now, firstly, we have to discuss the links with Ilkay Gundogan that has been increasing over the past few days on his free transfer move to Barcelona this summer. Now, Javi Miguel from AES has come out saying that Xavi has already personally spoken with Ilkay Gundogan to convince him to join Barcelona. The initial contacts with Gundogan and his entourage have been more than positive, and the player will even be willing to lower his salary to join the club this summer. Barcelona believe that if they sign Gundogan and Busquets renews on a low salary, they will not have to sign any other midfielder in the summer. If Busquets does not renew, they would have to look for a pivot, as they don't really believe in Nico, who fits the position at the moment. The three main reasons why Barcelona want Ilkay Gundogan: because he arrived as a free agent, he can give other midfielders more rest, and also would improve Xavi's alternative options in the system with four midfielders. But one concern that Barcelona does have is his injury record. The club will be willing to take that risk, but they can carry out a serious and complete medical test. So Barcelona want Gundogan. I think this would be a very good move, especially like how Miguel says, if Busquets ends up renewing. You keep Busquets on for a year, you bring Gundogan for a year or two as well, let him fill that role while we look for those younger players to come in, whether Zubamendi, Nico Gonzalez, or any other players like that on a low salary as well. You can't go wrong. Also, Jordan Meros come out saying that Ilkay Gundogan is a real option for Barcelona for the upcoming summer. As a free agent, you can't go wrong with this. Again, like Franck Kessie, Christensen, Eric Garcia, Aguero, Memphis over the past few years. If they go well, great. If not, you've taken no risk. And with FFP being an issue and us having to only, still decrease the wage bill, Gundogan is going to be coming in on very low salary, at least I would say under 100,000 euros. He could be earning around 90, 80. I think currently at Man City he earns around 2,000. No, 200,000, not 2,000. Imagine 2,000. 200,000, around 210 possibly as well. So taking almost half a salary to join Barcelona. We've seen a lot of players do it. We'll see if Gundogan is also one of those players who will end up doing it. Also, Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona have indeed held initial discussions and also confirmed their interest to Ilkay Gundogan's side. Barcelona really admire him and have a great relationship with his agent. However, he is yet to make a final decision on his future. We are hearing from Man City reports at the moment that Gundogan, the Barcelona interest has caught his eye. So we'll wait and see on this. I think, like Kevin Miguel said, in a 4-man midfield, I think Gundogan would be a great addition. He come in there for Franck Kessie, come in for Frenkie de Jong as well to provide rest. He's been at the top level for the past few years under the Pep system as well. He plays in the pivot, so we could play him in the pivot when Busquets gets injured. That way we can keep Frenkie de Jong in the interior. So we'll wait and see on this one. I think it will be a good move, but again, it will depend on the salary offer, the contract length, all that sort of stuff. But Gundogan's move to Barcelona is edging closer and closer as Barcelona increase their interest and Gundogan increases his interest as well. Now, a player who Barcelona are eyeing for the future, but not this summer, but the next summer in 2024, is Florian Wirtz, the midfielder at Bayern Leverkusen. This is coming in from Plenty Goal for Sport 1, one of the most reliable journalists in Germany. He's come out saying that Barcelona have made contact with Florian Wirtz's father to inquire about his situation. He has a contract until 2027, and a summer move is ruled out. Earliest he would leave is in 2024. Now, this is just Barcelona getting their foot in the ground saying, hey, how's he doing? Is he interested? Is there a possibility? A contract until 2027 is going to put all the hands and all the power in Bayer Leverkusen, at least until you get to 2025. So I think this is going to be Barcelona beginning those early steps. Of course, Florian Wirtz is a great talent. He's been dominating the Germany league. He's in the Germany national team as well. He did have that ACL injury though that kept him out for a year, but now he's back. He's playing well, making an impact. So definitely could be an option for Barcelona in the future. You know, he kind of plays in that Pedri role as well. Creative midfielder, can maybe do the box-to-box as well. But he is more so of a number 10, which again, I am against signing for Barcelona. You know, we've had the Coutinhos in the past and the Antoine Griezmann. They just haven't worked out. But again, Florian Wirtz is a different kind of profile of a number 10 that I think does fit the Barcelona system. But he will be expensive. But I think right now Barcelona just inquiring about his situation. He did come out, Florian Wirtz, yesterday in the media when he was on the presser with Germany, saying that, oh, I don't know about the Barcelona interest. I haven't talked to my father, but I'm very happy in Leverkusen. And I'm focused on Leverkusen as well. But that's going to be a move later down the line for sure. So we'll wait and see. Versus, he's been, you know, clear about it. He's been a big Barcelona fan. He's had the Messi posters, the Barcelona posters. So this move will be very, very easy for Barcelona if, of course, the price is right. So we'll wait and see in the future. But again, Barcelona keeping an eye on Florian Wirtz's situation. Now, a position for Barcelona this summer that is going to be the priority, and it's where the club want to invest the most money in, is the right back position. We have been linked with a few names, one of them being Joao Cancelo. This is coming in for Florian Martinez from Mundo Deportivo. They came out saying that in the recent meeting with Jorge Mendes, he wanted to know if Barcelona are interested in Joao Cancelo, and Barcelona have always liked him, but of course, he will not be cheap. Barcelona have been following Cancelo, by the way, since his Valencia days. I remember vividly back in the day, it was either Rodrigo Moreno or him. We were both, you know, drooling over them. I remember it like it was yesterday. And then Cancelo went to Inter Milan, of course, and on loan to Juventus, and Juventus bought him. And now, of course, that Man City on loan at Bayern Munich. So Barcelona for ages have been interested in Cancelo. Now, Sport came out saying that Barcelona's interest in Joao Cancelo has intensified in recent days following that meeting with Jorge Mendes, and also Gerard Romero came out confirming this as well, saying that Joao Cancelo and also Marcelo Brozovic are options for Barcelona for the summer. Now, with Brozovic, of course, it will depend on Ilkay Gundogan. If we do sign Gundogan on a free transfer, I cannot see us getting Brozovic. I think Brozovic is only an option because Inter Milan are one of the few clubs that are open to swap deals. If we offer, you know, Lenglet, Dest, and a Nico loan, I would not be surprised if Inter Milan accept that, especially for a 29, 30-year-old Marcelo Brozovic. Keep an eye on him. I think he's definitely on that midfield list, but he's more in the medium and lower tier on that list. I think you have Gundogan top of the list alongside Zubimendi and other midfielders. Then you get the Brozovic in the middle. So keep your eyes on him. I think he will be an option, but very, very below on the list. Now back to Cancelo, of course, the transfer is difficult as it will not be very, very cheap. Having Miguel from AES even came out saying that Barcelona have ruled out signing Joao Cancelo in the summer due to his high financial demands and his reputation as a conflict player. Despite having ruled out Joao Cancelo, one of Barcelona's priorities is to still sign a top right back. They plan to make a significant financial effort to reinforce that position. So again, the club are going to spend big this summer on a right back, but Cancelo is just over that price range that Barcelona are trying to aim to spend. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that Barcelona see a possible move for Joao Cancelo as very difficult because they assume that Man City will ask for a very high transfer fee and they won't facilitate another loan either unless they get a good fee in return. Now, if we can get Joao Cancelo like 10 million loan fee, maybe 5, somewhere around there, 5 to 10, 40 million euro buy option, so you're looking at a 50 million euro package, I would definitely consider it. I mean, we're talking about, on his day, one of the best right backs in the world and also one of the best left backs in the world. The issue is, yes, he's a bit of a conflict player. We've seen over recent months, he doesn't get a few minutes, he'll start crying, but let's be honest. He'll get minutes at Barcelona. He will be undoubtedly our best right back. You put Koundé in the middle with Araujo, then you have Christian on the bench to compete with each other. It'll just make our defense even more elite than it already is. I think Cancelo, especially with the conflict right now with Man City, is one of the perfect options out there. You know, in August, we're talking about Pavard, Dalot, Juan Foyth, we will talk about in a few seconds. We really think we can get, you know, a Joao Cancelo or a Trent Alexander-Arnold or someone top quality, and now that is available. So we'll wait and see. I think this is where you really want the Laporta Jorge Mendes relationship to come in our favor, because if Laporta can do some magic negotiation, I personally think a move of Joao Cancelo this summer is possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Man City have to comply, and this transfer will not be easy, and it also won't be cheap either. Now, another option to reinforce the right back position at Barcelona was, of course, Juan Foyth, but over recent days, it looks like his transfer to Barcelona is getting more complicated. Joao Cancelo come out saying that Juan Foyth is still an option for Barcelona, although financially it does seem very difficult. Javi Miguel from AES has come out saying that although Villarreal refuses to negotiate for Juan Foyth, Barcelona are trying to enter into negotiation and are even willing to include a player in the operation such as Nico Gonzalez, Clement Lenglet, and Sergio Dest. At the moment, Juan Foyth is Barcelona's favorite to reinforce the right back position, but Villarreal are refusing to negotiate and are demanding the payment of full of his 54 million euro release clause. So Villarreal do not want to negotiate, either activate the release clause or get out the door. The club will try to offer Nico, Lenglet, and Dest. Very, very weird to me that Juan Foyth is our favorite in the right back position. If we can pick any right back, apparently we go for Juan Foyth. That's of course feasible, available, all that sort of stuff. But Juan Foyth is the same profile as, you know, Jules Koundé and Araujo. You know, a very defensive right back, can get forward. Of course, Araujo's cross didn't make that first goal in the Clasico, so they can get forward at some stage, but they're more so a defensive fullback. But then we got the big report from Tony Marti, of course, from Relevo. He's come out saying that Barcelona see the signing of Juan Foyth as almost impossible. He will be expensive, and the club is looking for an offensive right back because they believe Araujo and Koundé can handle defensive responsibilities at right back when necessary. Yes, 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 yes. Could not agree more. The question now is, who the bloody hell are we going to sign? I think all roads currently point to Joao Cancelo because he's available. He's more on the expensive side, yes, but he will. I think we can get him for cheaper than Juan Foyth's 54 million euro release clause. I think you offer Le City a 10 million loan, 40 million buy option, maybe 50. I would rather spend 60 on Joao Cancelo than 54 on Juan Foyth. I think Juan Foyth is a great talent, great right back, but I think he's still the same profile as Koundé and Araujo. He doesn't make us more advanced. He does not up our levels. I think Joao Cancelo does. Again, there's a bit of a risk of that conflict because, you know, he's a bit of an expressive player, so to speak. But I think with the loan, you get him in for a year, see how he does. If he does great, buy him. If not, you know what, 10 million investment, it is what it is. So I'm very, very intrigued to see who we get right back. I think it's definitely top two priorities for Barcelona alongside a midfielder. Right back, again, it's very, very clear this is where Barcelona want to invest the most amount of money they have in the budget this summer. The real question now is, besides Juan Foyth and Joao Cancelo, who will the club sign? I have no idea. I don't really see any other options in the media, not even from Sport. But what is clear at the moment is that Barcelona are looking for an offensive right back. But a defender who Barcelona have a full agreement to join the club this summer is in fact Inigo Martinez. This is coming in, of course, from Gerard Romero, the GOAT. He's come out saying that Barcelona have reached a full agreement with Inigo Martinez for him to join the club in the summer if there will be enough FFP. His wife currently is in Barcelona looking for a house. Now, apparently Inigo Martinez also has an offer on the table from Atletico Madrid. If the Barcelona deals fall through, he could end up joining the Atletico side of Madrid. Look, I think Martinez is a good signing. Yes, he's a bit on the older side, but he's going to come in as a veteran. Hopefully, if we get that right back, it's going to be clear as day. It'll be Araujo, Koundé, and Christensen as our main 3 center backs. You have Inigo Martinez and Eric Garcia there to compete to provide some rotation. I don't know why, but Xavi's really firm in having 5 center backs. If that's what he wants, that's what he'll get. I think Inigo Martinez provides that leadership. He provides that experience. He knows the league inside and out. I think he's a very, very good defender. I really wanted him back when he's at Real Sociedad in like 2016, 2017, but that never ended up happening. But now you have him free transfer as well. I think this is a good move for the club. It's a player that Xavi wanted. Again, both the Spanish passports in the squad. So we'll wait and see if this goes through. But again, that looks like Barcelona's center back situation done and completed, with Inigo Martinez coming in to the club, barring of course FFP regulation. But a full agreement has been reached between Barcelona and the player. All that's left is to push the green light. Now, along with the defense, another priority for Barcelona this summer is to reinforce the attack, and one of the main names on the table is, of course, the Brazilian wonder kid, Vitor Roque. Now, Joaquin Pereira from Sport has come out saying that Barcelona will try to sign Vitor Pereira on loan now with a mandatory buy option of around 35 million euros next year to overcome the obstacles of financial fair play. The option is gaining strength in the Barcelona offices. Vitor Roque is convinced that he will join Barcelona, and for his entourage will block all other offers. There's widespread optimism that all parties are convinced that eventually he will be signed and sealed. Barcelona continue to work to overcome the obstacles of FFP, and Roque and his entourage are convinced that his current club will accept the payments in installments. If not for this conflict, they would have already informed Barcelona and looked for another club, because there is no short of offers. So apparently, Vitor Roque's current club will accept the deal in installments. That's why they're not talking to anyone else, because Vitor Roque wants to move, of course, to Barcelona, and they were not going to accept the installments. They'll be out talking to Chelsea, PSG, Arsenal, whoever else wants Vitor Roque. But again, this deal is gaining momentum. Now, my question is, we're going to talk about Messi, of course, in the next minute. If Messi comes, and of course, we'll see someone's going to have to leave, are we going to loan Vitor Roque and then loan him out somewhere else? That's my main concern. You're going to have Lewandowski, you're going to have Rafinha, Dembele, hopefully, Ansu Fati, Varane, then Messi. So you're going to have 6 forwards, of course, 3 starting, 3 on the bench, rotation, injuries are all going to come about. You can't add Vitor Roque to that, unless, of course, one of the forwards does end up being sold, whether it's Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati. So I think Vitor Roque's future will definitely indicate the future of Ferran and Ansu Fati as well, because you can only fit 6 in your squad unless you want to loan Vitor Roque, then loan him out. That just seems a bit weird and also a bit tiresome on Barcelona as well. So we'll wait and see. I think Vitor Roque is a great talent. I think we should be signing him for the future for sure. Of course, if we do end up signing Messi, he's aging. Lewandowski's aging as well. So you want to get that future locked and loaded. And I think Vitor Roque could be the future of Barcelona's front line. But a forward who Barcelona are trying desperately to re-sign to the club is, of course, the greatest human being to touch a football, Lionel Andres Messi. Now, this is coming in from Juan Foyth, who is who's a journalist who's very close to Joan Laporta. He's come out saying that Leo Messi dreams of returning to Barcelona. Messi's waiting for Barcelona to make a move. Xavi wants to sign him, and Antonella and her children want to return to Barcelona. Apparently, the rumor is that ever since Messi moved to Paris, every time they came back to visit Barcelona, that's when they've been the happiest since Messi's left. At the Balde ceremony in 2021, Messi refused to have any contact with members of Barcelona's board who attended the ceremony, but Xavi started to call him, and Alejandro sending him messages as well, and little by little, the relationship with Messi has been improving. In January of 2022, Messi traveled to Barcelona to attend Xavi's birthday. Busquets and Jordi Alba were also there, and an important connection was made there. Busquets, Xavi, and Alba begin to talk about the protagonist and Messi's return to Barcelona. In November, Xavi and Messi met in Barcelona. Xavi explained to the player that he wanted him to return, that he would play as a right interior. Xavi also informed him that he would try to convince Busquets and Jordi Alba to stay so that Messi would feel more comfortable. Messi's spell at PSG was improving as the months went by, but the departure of Paredes and Di Maria, also the uncertainty around Neymar's future, has left Messi unsupported. Messi's entourage has always been sought out of any rumors of Messi's return to Barcelona at bay, especially Jorge Messi and the players' brothers. They're the first to speak out when the rumor come out. They want Barcelona to continue to show signs of regret. Joan Laporta has since called Leo Messi to apologize, and Messi is now very happy with Joan Laporta's apology. I saw this, I'm thinking, This is Joan Laporta leaking. All this is just Joan Laporta speaking in the media, in my opinion. I'm thinking, damn, this is, in-depth stuff. This is not something a journalist can just go and get. This is something that is a conversation for about a few hours to get the full details. Now, we do have some news from Foot Mercado. Santi, who's one of the more reliable journalists in France, he's come out saying that meetings between Joan Laporta and Jorge Messi have already taken place for a possible return. Although Messi's happy in Paris, he does not want to miss any opportunity of returning to Barcelona. Messi and Xavi continuously speak to each other as well. The biggest obstacle right now in his return is the Catalan club's financial fair play rules of La Liga. Barcelona would need the sale of multiple individuals to make space in the wage bill and attempt to sign him. An extension at PSG is becoming less likely every day despite the efforts being made. Although transfer to the MLS and more specifically to Inter Miami is still on the table, a return to Barcelona is now being seriously considered by Messi and his environment. What is clear at the moment is that Messi is staying in Europe. He's not going to Saudi Arabia. He's not going to the MLS. He's not going back to Argentina. He is staying in Europe. If he's staying in Europe, it's a 50-50 between PSG and Barcelona, because he ain't going to Man City starting a new life there. Of course, his children, his family have already gone through that trouble of starting a new life. Doesn't want to do that again, all just to work under Pep Guardiola. So we're at a 50-50. We're at a 50-50 just by that. The fact that Messi is not talking to PSG, he's unhappy, he's trying to talk to Barcelona. This return is gaining momentum every single day. But there is a big question about PSG. Now, Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying that PSG's Qatari headquarters in Doha have given clear instructions to Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Luis Campos that they must keep Leo Messi at all costs. They are under pressure. So the owners of PSG want Messi to stay. Of course, commercially, because Messi's making them a bankload of money. But the player right now is unhappy. Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona have already sent messages to Messi and they are still dreaming of his return, even though there is still no offer. Leo still doesn't agree with PSG's proposal because he wants to understand their project, but his priority again is to continue in Europe. I go back to end of January. I go back to the beginning of January, actually, when Fabrizio Romano and everyone under the sun, Messi has agreed to stay with PSG. All they have to do now is just get the number, crunch the numbers, and he's gonna sign. It's agreed. He wants to stay. Blah blah blah. One man with the cojones came out at end of January saying that as of today, Messi is not staying at PSG, and that was Jardimero. Every single word he says about Messi is, for me, the most factual, and of course, he's given updates over the past few days. Jardimero has come out saying the legal services of Barcelona and Leo Messi are in fact working on a possible return of the Argentine. The main worry for Messi's return on both the player and the club side is the issue of taxation. However, Barcelona are working to significantly trim down the wage bill. His registration is expected to be less of an issue. Messi's wife continues to declare her love for the city of Barcelona. Xavi believes that Messi's return would also be an outstanding opportunity to close his chapter at Barcelona as a legend. However, lots need to happen both economically and emotionally first for that move to happen. We're getting reports again from L'Equipe in France saying that PSG is no longer sure if they want to keep Messi or not, and PSG is not ready to give Messi all that he is demanding in order to extend his contract. Apparently, Messi's asking for the same amount of money as Kylian Mbappe is currently earning. Jardimero came out saying that before the World Cup, Xavi and Messi spoke to each other, like Juan Foyth said in his report as well. Messi told Xavi to wait until the end of the World Cup. Since the victory, he told those around him that he does not want to continue in Paris. He knows that his family is suffering in Paris, and when they come back to Barcelona for 2 or 3 days, they feel like they're at home. And Messi does not intend to extend his contract with PSG. He wants a return to Barcelona, but will it happen? There are a lot of conditions that need to be met. Oh my God! So now we're at a point where not only does Barcelona want Messi to come back, not only does Messi's family want to come back, but Messi himself wants to return. Who would have thought? Not me. If this happens, I might be the most happiest human being in the entire world. I would love nothing more. Since Messi left, go look at my videos when Messi left. I said, summer and spring of 2023, get ready. Those rumors are gonna be flying, and hopefully by then Barcelona's more healthy. Because of course, 2 years ago, financially, we were not even in the shit. We were underneath the shit. So it's all on to Javier Tebas, pretty much. If he weakens the rules a little bit, then maybe we can sign Messi, but it's based on the current rules. The wage bill has to be trimmed, of course. We're looking at a Busquets renewal, maybe a Jordi Alba renewal. Hopefully, Frank Ter Stegen can reduce their salaries as well. You have to get rid of, Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati. There's a lot of things that need to be done, but the return of Messi is gaining momentum. Is it possible? Yes. A lot of things have to be met. But Messi does favor a return to Barcelona. This is the main thing to take away from this. That Messi favors a return to Barcelona than staying at PSG. So overall, based on all the rumors that we have heard over the past few months, Barcelona's summer transfer target and plan is becoming more and more clear. Javi Miguel from AES has come out saying that Barcelona only want to spend big on a striker and a right back this summer. Juan Foyth and Vitor Roque are the chosen ones, and the club tried to reduce the fees by including players in the deal or paying in installments. To strengthen the other positions, Barcelona will go for free options, possibly of course Inigo Martinez and Ilkay Gundogan. Very, very similar to the moves that Barcelona did last summer with Christensen and of course Franck Kessie. In addition, we could also see Abde join the first team as well. Now, Gerard Mero's come out with his list saying that Barcelona's summer transfer targets for the summer are as follows: Vitor Roque, Joao Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, Lionel Messi, Inigo Martinez, Marcelo Brozovic, Juan Foyth, and Ilkay Gundogan. These are the main players that Barcelona are following. If we sign like Gundogan on a free, Joao Cancelo, Inigo Martinez on a free, Messi on a free, Vitor Roque, there's 5 signings. Happy days. Get rid of Lenglet, Dest, keep Nico if you need, Nico and Abde if you need be. But this list, I think, is damn near perfect. If everything falls into place, we could have the most elite squad in Europe next season. Now, if you look at this list, one of the main issues is that a lot of the players have the same agent, and that same agent is being, of course, Jorge Mendes. You have to keep him happy. But apparently, according to Alberto Roque from Relevo, the sporting department at the club does not like that many of the players are betting on the same player agents. Of course, Jorge Mendes is the agent about half these players on the list. And also for renewals as well, and selling players, Ansu Fati, Alejandro, Balde, Lamine Yamal, Jorge Mendes is essentially, did I say Jorge Messi from before? I have no idea. I meant Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes is just running this Barcelona squad beyond belief. So the club aren't too happy about that because you have to make him happy in every single aspect. You can't say, oh, here's everything for Joao Cancelo, but want to get rid of Ansu Fati. No, I want Ansu Fati to be happy. You got to make him happy, or else I'm not going to give you Joao Cancelo. So all these things annoy the club a bit, but again, it's part of the game. The game's the game. So this transfer list, I'm very, very happy with. I think we bring in Martinez and Gundogan on a free agent. Kessie, Christensen 2.0, banging. You get Vitor Roque in on the loan, Joao Cancelo, Leo Messi. Our squad is gonna be so elite. But again, this is gonna be a very difficult operation for the club to do. But the club led to do the impossible, and I have no doubt in the board, in Laporta, Alemany, Jordi Cruyff, and of course the main man himself, Mateu Alemany. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past week or so. Firstly is the main one, and that is Ansu Fati. Now, Alberto Roque from Relevo has come out saying that Ansu Fati's name was discussed in the recent meeting with Jorge Mendes. The agent keeps all the options open and is already probing the market in case he has to find a new destination for him. Ansu's entourage considers that with confidence and minutes, he will recover his best level. If things don't change by the end of the season, the situation will be analyzed and a decision will be made, of course, in the summer. The option of a loan does not fully convince his entourage. For his part, Ansu has always wanted to succeed at Barcelona and recover his best version despite the lack of promise this season. This is his priority, and he will only consider leaving if the club opens the door for an exit. 2019, if you told me that Ansu Fati could end up leaving at Barcelona, I would have said you were crazy. The number 10 leaving looks like now that's a reality. Look, I would give Ansu another season. I really would. I think the talent I've seen in this boy, movement on the pitch, and what we've seen before that meniscus injury is a beautiful sight to me. I would give him another season. I kind of agree with his entourage. If he gets minutes and confidence consistently, he hasn't gotten that this season. Let's be honest. He gets start and then 5 bench, 1 start, 3 bench, 2 starts, and then 6 bench. Like, it's very, very inconsistent for him, and it's very, very difficult for him to take those opportunities that he's been given. I would give him another season. I think getting rid of him now is very, very difficult. Of course, last season you pulled absolute miracles to renew his contract until 2027. I think the offers that does come in will have an influence. If someone offers, 90 million, 100 million for Ansu Fati, the club will definitely analyze it. Now, Gerard Miro has come out saying that currently Barcelona are debating internally on whether to sell Ansu Fati or to loan him out. So apparently keeping him right now is not so much an option, either loan or sell. At that point, I'd rather say loan, because that way you get to keep him for another year. You can see him, grow. You spend, again, so much effort to renew him last year. What's the bloody point? Now, Hanina Kodes from Kope came out saying that at the moment, Ansu Fati does not want to leave Barcelona while having offers from the Premier League on the table. If Ansu Fati doesn't end up leaving, there's no doubt there's going to be suitors for him. Chelsea, Manchester United are the two names that keep seeing linked around Ansu Fati. But I think there's a player there. So we'll wait and see. Again, his situation from now to the end of the season will determine that. And unless we win the league, 8 games in advance, I can't see his situation changing whatsoever unless we have some injuries coming in. Dembele's about to come back. I think Dembele's future will also have an effect on Ansu as well, if he ends up renewing or not. Because again, you want to have those wingers in the squad. Then you have Abde coming back as well. So there is a lot of pressure on Ansu Fati, to say the least. So we'll have to wait and see how this turns out. But again, there is a possibility that Ansu Fati does end up leaving the club this summer, with, of course, the lack of quality and minutes that we have seen this season. But again, with the club investing in him so much, I think it'll be very, very difficult for Ansu to end up leaving the club this summer. But in football, of course, you never know. Now, a player who Barcelona have been trying to sell for years now, and this summer might be the summer, is Samuel Umtiti. Now, Mateu Morito from Renewal has come out saying that Samuel Umtiti will return from his loan from Lecce to Barcelona, but he won't be staying at Barcelona, as a lot of teams are interested in signing him due to his outstanding performances at Lecce. Vamos, Samu. Big Sam is back, and hopefully, we can get some money from Umtiti. If we can get 5 million, 6-7 million, God help us, 10 million, because of course, keep in mind, Umtiti still has 3 years left on his contract. Last season, if I'm not mistaken, he did renew until 2026, with of course his salary being separated into various years. If we can get some money for him, that's going to be brilliant. But I think the club would just want to cut their losses, just get him off the waste bill. So if they have nothing but free offers, they will probably take it. But it looks like Samuel Umtiti's chapter at Barcelona is finally coming to an end. Now, a player's future that is currently, you could say, still in doubt, but will be analyzed at the end of the season is, of course, Franck Kessie. Roger Tolor from Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that Juventus, Napoli, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, and Manchester United are all following Franck Kessie's situation, who currently wants to only focus on Barcelona. Of course, on Sunday, he gave us a very, very beautiful moment, a moment that we'll all never forget, and will go down in the history books at Barcelona. Will that goal keep him for another year? I think that's a big cliche. I think Franck Kessie is a fantastic player. I think we should end up keeping him. I think every player who signs for Barcelona deserves at least 2 years. I think Franck Kessie deserves it as well. If Andre Gomes can get 2 years, Franck Kessie can get 2 years. I think unless a ridiculous offer comes in, we're talking 30 million euros plus, I think Franck Kessie will end up staying. Apparently, he's earned the respect from the Barcelona dressing room. He's made Xavi very happy. He's worked very hard to earn a spot in the team. So everything is bish, bash, bosh, all happy. So we'll wait and see with Franck Kessie. But again, with Barcelona trying to sell players and reduce the wage bill and all that sort of stuff, he is definitely a name on the table. But unless a ridiculous offer comes in, he probably will get another season in the Blaugrana. Now, a midfielder's future that is not in his own hands and does depend on other factors and scenarios is Nico Gonzalez, who of course is currently out on loan with Valencia and will return in the summer. Roger Tolor from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Nico Gonzalez's future depends on Busquets' future. Another factor that his future depends on is whether Barcelona could sign another midfielder. If Barcelona continue to face issues due to FFP, Nico's chances of staying would increase. Now, here's the situation. The club think Nico is a good talent and a good player. We talked about Laporta cashing in on the grassroots a few months ago, that they don't want to hold on to players that they know is good but can't really fit right now in the first team. Nico is that example. They want to wait and see what happens in the midfield if Busquets ends up staying or leaving, if we end up signing Gundogan or not. because that option will open up for Nico. So let's say, for example, we don't sign Gundogan, but we renew Busquets. Nico can come in and provide cover for Busquets. Of course, he's done that last year. He can come in and do it as well. He just needs more minutes and more experience. That's the main issue. That's why we loaned him out to Valencia, but then Gattuso didn't give him any minutes. He went out injured for a few months, and now this new manager doesn't really play him that frequently. I think Nico will end up leaving the club this summer. I mean, I would be shocked if he ends up staying. I think all roads lead to him finding his future elsewhere, unless a miracle happens, unless Busquets leaves, Gundogan doesn't come, and all we're left with is Nico. And the club think Nico's a good player, but at the moment does not really fit the system, and nor has the experience and capabilities to compete in the first team at the club. So we'll wait and see with Nico. I think the talent is there, but the opportunity at the moment isn't really present. Now, a player out on loan that has been doing fantastically well and does have options to stay at the first team with Barcelona, it is, of course, Abde. Now, Mateu Morito from Relivo has come out saying there is nothing between Abde and Atletico Madrid at the moment. His future should be at Barcelona unless a super offer from the Premier League arrives. Of course, having Miguel from AES, very close to Xavi, has been saying over the past few days that Abde at the moment is in the plans for their first team and is expected at the bare minimum at the moment to do pre-season with the first team. Now, with Abde, his future depends on a few things, of course. Vitor Roque, Leo Messi, Ferran Torres, and Ansu Fati. Those four players are in the way for Abde to get into the first team. Do I think currently Abde is good enough to be in the first team? Yes. Can he be a starter right now? No. Is he a good bench option? Yes. Is he an improvement on Ferran Torres? Honestly, at the moment, I think he is. I think he's been performing better, especially this season. The main reason with Ferran Torres is that, of course, we spent 50 million on him. On Abde, only spent like, what, 6 million, something like that. So watch out for the offers that come in for him. I think there's going to be a lot of teams who do need a winger, who do see Abde as a good option. Same thing goes for Ansu Fati as well. I think Abde is a very, very strong talent, and I think he can make it at Barcelona. Unlike Nico, when the opportunity isn't there, for Abde, the opportunity is still very much in grasp, but it's very difficult to bring in. Again, you have Rafinha, Dembele, Varane, Ansu, you have Messi maybe coming back, Vitor Roque may coming in, so a lot of if, buts, and maybes for Abde, but the chances are very, very high for him to continue at Barcelona into next season. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, the big update, the contract renewal of the first team captain of the club, Sergio Busquets, and the renewal talks have been positive. Firstly, Inigo Martinez from Cope has come out saying that Sergio Busquets already has Barcelona's proposal on the table to renew his contract for a 1-year deal plus a 1-year option. Of course, Jordan Miro already said this a week ago. Busquets would stop earning more than half of around 30 million euros that he currently now receives. The midfielder's predisposition to renew is very good, and everything indicates that he will give the green light to an agreement. Juan Martin from Relivo came out confirming this, saying that Busquets is closer to extending his contract with Barcelona with a lower salary for a 1-year deal with a 1-year option. Busquets' roadmap could change if his friend Messi decides to go to Inter Miami, which of course currently is unlikely. And finally, Florian Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Busquets' renewal decision will not be rushed and it will not depend on money, but rather on his life project. The optional year clause could depend on the club, which condition it could be a percentage of games being played, similar of course to Sergio Roberto. Now, if Busquets end up staying, I'm going to be gassed about this Messi return, because I think Busquets kind of sees his map at Barcelona ending, but he's like, oh, Messi might come back, one last hurrah. And Busquets is like, not bad, not bad. Look, Busi is still very important to the team, whether you accept that fact or not. Again, the lack of replacements on the market right now is evident. Zubimendi is too expensive. And other than that, really, there's no other option that's feasible. Rodri is, out of reach. Kimmich is out of reach as well. I think the club's plan is to. I think the club, if they can do anything right now, what they would do is renew Busquets for a year, bring in Ilkay Gundogan, have them go out for a year in the midfield, and then cut their losses in the summer, bring in Zubimendi next summer or any other player really to fill that pivot. The real issue now is that this summer the pivot options are not that great, or if they are there, they're very, very expensive. And this is very, cheap option for Barcelona. Busquets still have been doing well. I think Busquets again can do a job against teams at home, maybe lesser teams away, but Champions League games, I have no confidence in Busquets whatsoever. At the very top level in Europe, I don't back Busi, but top level in Spain, semi-level in Spain, I think he can still do a job. He's been showing it this season. Since January, he's been flawless, especially even against Manchester United in the Europa League. But we'll have to wait and see. I think Busquets still right now is at a 50-50 decision, despite the fact his contract, apparently he's very, very happy with the proposal. He is going to accept it. He's leaning towards a green light. But I think during this international break, it will be key for Busquets. I think by the end of this international break, we'll have a clear answer on whether or not Busquets renews or leaves the club this summer. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Alejandro Balde, and this is coming in from Florian Martinez from Deportivo. He's come out saying that Alejandro Balde was the first name discussed between Barcelona and Jorge Mendes in the meeting a few days ago. They continue to advance in negotiations for his renewal. Some important fringes remain to be closed, but negotiations are final stretch, and Barcelona are optimistic about the final agreement. How this renewal is not done and sealed is beyond me. We heard back in December during the World Cup that this renewal was done. We're now in the end of March and there's still no pen and paper on a new deal. Alejandro Balde on current form right now is one of the best left backs in the world. He's easily top 5. And Jorge Mendes can earn some buckload of money from Alejandro, whether it's for renewal, whether it's for a contract bonus signing, transfer fee, agent fees. He can earn some proper bank. We have got to renew Alejandro Balde, and I think in the end, the club will end up getting it done. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of the first team manager, Xavi Hernandez, and also the sporting director of the club, Mateu Alemany. You'll never see a club like Barcelona where we're gonna give you guys the updates on the manager's renewal and also the sporting director. This is coming in from Sport. They've come out saying that Barcelona will start contacts with Xavi to negotiate his renewal after the El Clasico. Laporta's idea is to offer him a 1-year renewal so that his contract would end in 2024, would be extended until 2025, and the same for Alemany. Laporta plans to start negotiations to renew Alemany, whose contract currently expires in June 2024. Laporta wishes to extend his contract through 2025 by an additional year. So Laporta wants to get our renewals to the people who deserve it, the people who are running this club to the absolute highest of highs. Xavi on the pitch, Alemany behind the scenes have been doing absolute magic for Barcelona, and no doubt in my mind they both deserve renewal, and hopefully the club will begin negotiation to end up giving them the contract they both deserve. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates surrounding Barcelona over the past few days, and we do have an update firstly on the two main players that have been out now for a while, and that is Pedri and Ousmane Dembele. This is coming in from Jaime Miguel from AES, and he's come out saying that everything indicated that Pedri was going to return for Sunday's El Clasico, but in the training session beforehand he had bad feelings and he was now out for the Clasico and also the international break for Spain, which he was called up for before this relapse the day before in the training session for the Clasico, and now he'll get an extra 2 more weeks off to recover and try to arrive fully fit for the El Clasico in the Cup on April the 5th, which is also Ousmane Dembele's objective as well. I'm a bit worried about Dembus here. He's supposed to be out for a month. It's been about 3 or 2 now, and he's still having relapses after relapses after relapses. Pedri, I think, will come back in due course. If they're both not in the squad list for the Clasico, I will be worried. I hope I'm wrong. Please God, I'm wrong. But I feel like Ousmane Dembele is not gonna come back. I don't know why. I just have this. I'm just getting Dembele broken glass flashbacks. I really hope he comes back because we do need him. But I have a funny feeling that Dembele will be out. If Dembele's in the squad list for the El Clasico, I'll be happy. I think Pedri will end up being there, but with Ousmane, we'll have to wait and see, but both players are expected to be fully fit and at least in the squad list for the El Clasico on April the 5th. Now, in the last El Clasico last Sunday, we've had 2 players go down with injury. First one being Ronald Araujo. Jaime Miguel from AS came out saying that Araujo will not play for the next 2 or 3 weeks due to abdominal problems. In principle, his participation in the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final against Real Madrid is not in danger. So he had a little bit of a niggle, a little bit of a knock. He's pulled out now the Uruguay international break and will be recovering in the Ciutat Esportiva. I'm a bit worried about Araujo as well, man. He's been getting all these niggling injuries. He plays one good game and he goes full flow and he gets injured. I mean, some players go full flow for 3 seasons before they get injured. This man plays one intense game and goes down with a knock. You see there in the picture in the team photo, he's got the ice pack there with blood on it as well. So since this surgery, it's been peak for Araujo. So he'll be out for the international break. Hopefully he will be back for that semifinal in the Copa del Rey against Real Madrid. I don't think he will end up playing in the match after the international break on April the 1st against Elche. But not only did Araujo go down in the El Clasico, freaking Frankie de Jong has gone down as well with a knock. Javi Miguel from AES came out saying that Frankie de Jong will not feature for Netherlands games during the international break. He is expected to be available though for the Copa del Rey Clasico against Real Madrid on April the 5th. The Dutch manager Ronald Koeman confirmed that de Jong had a scan and he had a knock and he cannot play. He needs at least 2 weeks rest to be fully fit. Hopefully that means he'll be able to be at least on the bench for Elche on April the 1st, but he should be able to start in the Clasico on April the 5th. So that's 4 key injuries for Barcelona going into this next El Clasico. Pedri, Dembele, Araujo, and de Jong. Let's hope at least 3 of them are back, but in theory, it could only be 1 of them being back, or worst case scenario, none of them. We are on thin ice at the moment. Of course, the Copa del Rey is a big objective for Barcelona. Key players are going out. This is where you rely on the squad. This is why you need a good squad. Franck Kessie is going to get his chance. Eric Garcia might get a run out, or maybe even Marcos Alonso. Rafinha, Dembele, Ferran Ansu will all have their chances as well. So the team is suffering from injuries, and hopefully we can get a fully fit squad in the final stretch of the season. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First, we do have an update on the renewal registration cancellation of Pablo Gavi. Mundo Deportivo have reported that the commercial court has rejected Barcelona's appeal for Gavi. He will return to having his celebratory file with the number 30 and will now cannot be registered with the first team until next season, i.e. this summer, until the wage bill is lowered. But Victor Roque from Copa has come out saying that Barcelona still has not received a notification from the commercial court regarding the rejection of Gavi's registration. As soon as it arrives, they will appeal it to the provincial court, and Barcelona insists that they filed the appeal within the deadline. There's a very, very good chance, lads, that we're going to rock up back from the international break and Gavi's going to be rocking number 30 again. I mean, this Javier Tebas, man, is going to be the death of me. You know why? Because you don't see any other league's presidents moving mad like that. I don't even know the president's name in the Premier League or Serie A or Ligue 1 or the Bundesliga. I don't know their names. But Javier Tebas, this man is moving so mad. He even asked the prosecution of Spain to remove Laporta from the Spain board of directors or something like that. This man is moving fucking mad, lads. It's the agenda he has against Barcelona is ridiculous. He does not shut up. We're in his mouth. We live rent free in his bald old head. He will not stop talking about us in the media. Laporta this, Laporta that, guy registration. You want to get Messi, you gotta make some changes. Oh, lower your wage bill. But all this. Oh, but Madrid can sign Mbappe for sure. I never hated a man more than Bartomeu, but this man is creeping up my list. Anyways, with Gavi, he's going to stay at Barcelona. All this crap that comes out from the Athletic in the UK. Oh, Gavi might leave this summer for free. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. The renewal is there. It will be registered. I have no doubt in my mind. He's one of the most important players for the club. I don't even think he'll end up leaving. What better place as a midfielder do you want to start besides Barcelona? Tell me where. Exactly. So, no doubt with Gavi, he will end up staying. But again, this renewal registration problem is all because of Javier Tebas' rules changed in La Liga. Man, switched the rules in November just to piss us off. It is what it is. When you support the best team in the world, things are going to go like this, and you have to deal with it. So wait and see with Gavi registration, but again, most likely he will return to number 30 for the remainder of the season, but he will be registered in the summer without a shadow of a doubt. Now, one of the main worries for Barcelona coming up now is, of course, the Espai Barca project. As we all know, this upcoming season, we're going to have to move from the Camp Nou and move to the Mojica Stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Catalonia, where the club have invested some money to make some renovations to keep the stadium up to European level standards. Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying that drainage work is almost complete at this Estadio Olímpico Luis Companies. The greatest urgency in recent months has been the work on the pitch, and everything is going accordingly to establish the deadline. So again, the club have invested a lot of money in the stadium to make it up to par. They're gonna have to pay to rent the stadium as well. All this stuff for Espai Barca to have that beautiful stadium in 2026. So that stuff is on track. And also, of course, the main issue about moving to the Mojica Stadium is going to be the revenue. Season ticket holders, all that sort of stuff. You can't make that much money at the Olympico. You only hold 55,000 as a capacity, where the Camp Nou holds 95,000 currently. And to put that into perspective, in the last El Clasico on, last Sunday where we won 2-1, RAC1 have come out saying that in the Clasico, Barcelona have broken their turnover record in a game at the Spotify Camp Nou, where they earned 8.2 million on match day, including 3 million euros just from the VIP boxes. How mad is that? Earning almost 10 million euros of revenue. That's profit. That's in the pocket from just one game. The Mojica Stadium cannot compete with this. They can probably barely make $1 million or $2 million per day. And this is a 95,000 sold out Spotify Camp Nou with the Rosalia kits coming out. The club, to be fair, doing wonders in, what's the word I'm looking for? Capitalizing on the revenue stream. So much so that currently the club have already started to carry out internal audits to reduce the expenses. They can say that certain sectors, many people duplicate responsibilities. All expenses that are considered unnecessary will be eliminated to reduce the wage bill. So again, the club are working very, very hard to get that wage bill down through other areas besides reducing the players' current salaries, whether it be firing other people that's not needed. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with Barca TV as well, and of course work on the actual wage bill from the players' point of view as well. That's something to look forward to as well. And we're also going to be getting some offside kit technology as well, which is also going to have to be integrated in the Mojica Stadium alongside the Camp Nou. Club have come out saying that La Liga, along with RFEF, are working to implement a semi-automated offside technology for next season onwards. In each stadium, 12 exclusive tracking cameras will be installed to calibrate offside. So again, that's also going to be added to the Mojica Stadium and then moved to the Camp Nou a year later. So all these things cost money. This is the world we live in. Everything is about the green, so the club have to keep on par with that as well. So I'll wait and see if the club are having so many plans in place to make sure Barcelona's revenue streams are all up to par, are all at maximum capacity in order to invest in the squad and into the club as well. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on Barcelona's summer transfer plan, more specifically on the return of Leo Messi. Think will end up happening or not. Who would you go for at right back? Cancelo, Foyth, or maybe another name? Thoughts on the signing of Ilkay Gundogan, of course on the sale or loan of Ansu Fati and other players' futures, on the, of course, injuries that we've suffered so far this season, and especially post-Clasico as well. Leave me all your thoughts on everything we discussed down in the comments below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.